Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. Again, my name is Jeffrey Davis, and we are in our studios in Boston, Mass, overlooking the Mass Pike and all the business and commerce going on. Every month we like to speak with our reporter, Peter Myerson, from the law firm of Cohan, Rasnick, Myerson, and Plaut. Welcome back, Peter.
Thank you, Jeff. It's great to be here.
Thank you. Peter, you've been talking to us a lot lately about attorneys, and I think you're continuing along that vein, correct?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting topic, and I think one that entrepreneurs are both scared to talk about or think about because, they get sort of locked into who their attorney is. But I've been talking about fiduciary duties of attorneys to their clients and, in general, the duties that lawyers have. And there's an interesting article in the Wall Street Journal that kind of carries on that theme, and it's a story about the Attorney General in Pennsylvania who's been subject to grand jury investigation for apparently lying in the grand jury investigations.
A lawyer who lies?
Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
Can I imagine? That's something I cannot even fathom, that a lawyer would ever lie.
Well, it's interesting. I can't imagine that a lawyer would lie, but I know they do.
Right.
And
other lawyers.
Other lawyers, not me. And nobody I know, or nobody I have a good relationship with. But, the article raises that interesting question of what are lawyers supposed to do? And, the article doesn't really go into what the details were of why she's charged with perjury, but it does show how dangerous the territory is. I started to tell the story of some time ago when I represented a company in Wisconsin. And I'd ended up representing them because I had represented some cheese importers in Boston who wanted to develop a manufacturing operation. They figured the easiest way to develop a manufacturing operation was to go out to Wisconsin and buy a manufacturer.
Right.
And so, what they did is they went out, they made a deal, they acquired this cheese manufacturer, and then one day, one Thanksgiving day, because I really remember this pretty well, because I was chewing my turkey.
Right.
And one day, one of the guys from Boston calls me up and he says, "I figured out why we're not doing so well." And I'm like trying to get back to my drink and dinner and all that kind of stuff. And I really these were a couple of guys in Boston that I really liked, and I actually really liked the guy who owned the manufacturing company in Wisconsin. And so I said to the guy in Boston, I said, "Paul, so why aren't you making money?" Because that's what he said to me. He says, "We're not making money." And I figured out why. And I said, "And why are you telling me this on Thanksgiving Day?" And he said, "Because I just figured it out. I went in and nobody was around, and I figured out that the guy in Wisconsin had this unbelievable scam going." And so he kind of told me about it. It was really very clever what this guy had done. He'd gone to all the vendors, and he had agreed to finance the business, and he was charging an enormous interest rate. But then he wasn't loaning the money. He was getting credit because he was the CFO.